Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to Random Roasts with Dan.
And
And
Phil. I jumped the gun there, didn't I? Dan, we're
yeah,
gonna have to work on our intro. I mean,
yeah.
now I'm just thinking about it. We're really gonna have to work on it. If you guys have a suggestion, let us know. Uh,
Honestly, you're pretty musically inclined. You might be able to wrangle up a jingle or something.
Dan and Phil
Something like
podcast in the
that.
mornings.
With a guitar and a flute.
Smooth roast, Dan and Phil
I would like
podcast on your ears.
You could do that. That's kind of very like old school radio sounding, but I
Hmm.
would maybe like medieval times sounding like
Is that your trumpet? Is that your trumpet?
like a flute, yeah.
Oh, like a Yaz flute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like like here, kind of like welcome to the Random Roast podcast. So
Why do
kind of
you
like that.
sound Japanese? You sound like Japanese with speaking English with a Japanese accent. Hello, welcome to Random Roast.
Well, speaking of that, I do want to apologize for an error on my side with the last podcast drop, and it's an error on the audio side.
Dang.
Yeah, I did upload the wrong audio file. I corrected it within a few hours, but the reason why I tend to make fun of Apple so much is because iTunes took about 4 days to upload the correct file. So
Huh.
the correct file was not uploaded till I believe Sunday night.
Dan, actually, since you mentioned that, hey, so they can look at stuff on iTunes. Did you hear that Apple's shutting down iTunes?
Yeah, that's a long time coming.
Yeah, so how does that gonna work for our listeners?
It's gonna stay the same. It's more of a pivot than what you think. It's just gonna be podcasts on your iPhone.
So just a bunch
It,
of free stuff?
it's nothing's really gonna change from what I
Okay.
know. It's just whatever you're doing, it's gonna stay the same. It's just people don't really use iTunes anymore. They kind of utilize what
Other
they go
tune?
to. Yeah, they just kind of do what they do. So it's not that as big of a deal right
Okay.
now. It's no one really knows for sure until it happens. This is what I'm reading.
All right, guys. So before Apple is gone, make sure to give us 5 stars and leave a little note that says "I love Phil and Dan" or "Dan and Phil" or "I love the Random Roast podcast." And you should make sure it gets to more eardrums.
Yeah, and if something severe happens on the podcast side, we are always on YouTube. So
Exactly.
we will not disappoint again. I flogged myself from that mistake. I gave myself 20 lashes on my face.
Actually, so the only reason why I don't listen to our podcast because I do listen to our podcast when it's all uploaded. I don't listen to it on the podcast side. Actually, one of our listeners messaged me and let me know, "Hey, Phil, you're not there." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "On the iTunes podcast. Yeah, you're not there. It's just Dan's audio." And I'm like, "What?" And so then I kind of like checked everything, and that was me. So it was a unanimous effort from our community that helped with the situation.
Yeah, and I blame myself. We recorded on a Wednesday last week, and Wednesday last week was the first week of the Monday, excuse me. That's an era, the Wednesday night war in professional wrestling. So
Uh,
I got a bit excited and wanted to catch up on my nerdisms with wrestling. So that's why horrible reason and horrible excuse, but that's the truth.
well, way to be a high schooler, Dan.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a huge week in the wrestling world last week. So um, it's been an interesting week if you're a wrestling fan. It started off very strongly and it ended poorly on Sunday. So if you want to figure out what I mean, let me know if you're actually interested in wrestling talk. I'm not going to get too nitty gritty into it because it's incredibly boring and dorky if you're not into it. So um,
I'm more, and let me know if you want to hear UFC talk because I love UFC, and there's a lot of interesting things happening in the UFC. But we're not that kind of podcast. We're roasting things, but we would love to talk about nerdy things too.
speaking of a different topic, I saw something online that grew my attention. It grabbed me, and
Oh, did it?
it grabbed me all over. So It was the Boy Meets World. Remember that show from the 90s, Corey Matthews and Topanga?
Yeah. I do actually. That was an awesome show. Like, actually, my favorite character in that show is Mr. Feeney.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was like the cool teacher you always wanted to have.
Oh yeah, Feeney was legit.
I actually had a teacher. Now that I'm thinking back on it, I had a teacher like him in college. He was my advisor, and now I'm realizing why I liked him so much. I didn't realize who he reminded me of until we're talking about this podcast right now.
Dude, Mr.
So,
Feeney just like gave serious life lessons that still just can stay with you today if you remember it. I mean, like you guys should just go back and binge watch Boy Meets World just for the Feeneyisms.
and you should go back and binge watch the last few seasons. They introduced this new character. Her name was Rachel, and she was
Didn't they call her Texas?
I don't remember the details. I thought her name was Rachel, but she was the redhead that was a
Yeah,
love interest for.
she's from Texas. They called her Texas on the show, I think.
Well, she was the love interest for Corey Matthews' older brother. I believe his name was Eric,
Let's
and
see.
they brought some other character. It doesn't really matter, but I read online that she's doing porn now.
Topanga. Really?
Yeah, yeah, she's doing porn, and I went through her Wikipedia page, like trying to figure out what went wrong. And there's no activity as of like the last 10 years on her filmography or anything like that, appearances.
Right.
And so I did my due diligence as an informed person who is giving you important random news to my listeners and watchers on YouTube. I searched her material on these X-rated sites,
Oh wow.
and I sacrificed myself for you guys. I need you guys to appreciate my hard work on this.
Okay.
So her name is Maitland Ward. In case you are wondering who she is,
So
and
that's her real name.
that's her real name. She is using her real name as a porn star.
Interesting.
And I was surprised that the videos I saw online are not recent. They're from like over a year ago.
So why
So
is it coming to light now?
I don't think anybody put that together. Like they didn't know who she was until she said, "Yeah, I'm the girl from Boy Meets World," and everybody was like, "Oh!" So that
Um,
was like 20 years ago, and she's 42 now. So you wouldn't, put one and one together.
so
So
maybe her I don't watch porn. So maybe her merits as a porn star needed a jump boost. So she's like, oh yeah, by the way, I used to be on Boy Meets World. Oh, and all of a sudden there's like an influx of traffic, and she makes more
yeah,
money. Maybe.
she said she enjoys it. So in my humble opinion, it looks like she enjoys it too. So
Well, I don't like. I mean, I don't know if you're in Hollywood and you haven't really made movies in a while. You know, I don't think. Well, I mean, if you have, I guess if you feel like you're successful in Hollywood, I don't think doing porn is going to be like something on your to do list. I think you kind of feel like you maybe washed out in the acting kind of zone, and then you're just trying something new for money or trying to figure out another
see,
avenue. I don't know. I just
that's how I initially saw it. But if you go back in time, like a few of our biggest pops people in current society are from porn. Like Paris Hilton became super popular from that leaked sex tape.
I mean, she wasn't popular that her dad's a billionaire.
I mean, she kind of was, but she was more known for like being a party girl. But once that tape leaked, I
Right.
believe her interest skyrocketed.
Well, she got a TV show after that, didn't she?
Yeah, she became The Simple Life, I think it was called, and she
With
became
Nicole
super
Richie or
popular. Yeah,
something.
the girl looks like a pug. Yeah, that girl. So, I mean, she got super popular, and I think that tape like catapulted her to another level, and that's debatable. But what's not debatable is with Kim Kardashian,
Right.
because she was friends with Paris Hilton. Like, there's
Right.
videos, and when she's younger, and photos of her like kind of being an assistant for Paris Hilton, like in the background.
Oh, really?
So she kind of saw what happened with Paris Hilton with her sex tape, and hers kind of got leaked. But what she did is she redid it to make it look better. And now look at
Well,
her, like
let's
she's
not. It's that's not like a leaked video anymore. That's more like a production then at that point.
Well, they knew it was leaked. They were going to release it. They kind of blackmailed her, if I remember right. So she just decided to, oh, I'm just going to do it and make myself look better.
Right.
So, and now look at her. Like, I think she's attending the Harvard Business School. And I know she's like a very serious politically, like, social activist now.
Well, I mean, her husband, when he's not saying insane stuff, is pretty wealthy, well off, and I mean, still making music.
Yeah, I mean, they're balling. There's no other way to say
Yeah.
it. They were super wealthy. And she got famous from the sex tape.
I mean, she didn't get famous from her stepdad becoming a chick.
Well, that happened way after.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
true.
that's way after the sex tape. I mean, that sex tape was like 2008, and
Wait, so did the TV show happen before the sex tape or the
everything
TV
you
show?
know is from after the sex tape.
Dan, you and I should make a sex tape.
You don't
Not
watch porn, and then you say that.
well, I don't know. We can like make a sex tape and then all of a sudden be famous and do good with our powers.
See, it doesn't work that way for boys. So,
Oh man.
speaking of UFC, speaking of sex tape for boys, if you put Randy Couture sex tape, he is a famous UFC fighter,
Huh.
and he's by himself,
Oh, what's weird?
and it's very incredibly weird to see someone who's undeniably a very, legit badass
Right.
to film himself doing that. It's super weird, very
Yeah.
cringeworthy. So
Yeah.
it's interesting that lots of these topics that are so taboo. I mean, it's still taboo, but it's like merging into the mainstream little by little.
Well, I mean, in marketing though, there's that saying that sex sells, and now literally sex sells, and so that's kind of like actually that's like a full circle ideology.
Yeah, I mean, good for them if they're all about it and no one's being a victim. I don't really see a problem with it.
I mean, I see a moral problem with it, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but if you don't, like me, I don't really see a problem if no one's getting hurt and nobody's against it that's like involved in it. No one's against it's not against their will. They're getting paid. There's no felonious crimes involved. Then go at it. So I
So then I
support
guess
porn.
on the Dan and Phil scale, Dan supports porn, Phil does not support porn. So I guess we're the majority now. We cover everybody.
Yeah. So you could side with me or side with them. You cannot stand in the middle on this topic. Man, imagine if you're like, I support this kind of porn, but not that kind of porn. You can't do that.
No porn or all porn.
Yeah, you have to be all about it or not at all. You can't be like, yeah, I only keyword search these particular words. I'm against those particular words. Like,
I'm in a mindset that it kind of just I feel like it destroys your mind with stuff like that, and so. But I mean, to each their own. I'm not telling people what to do, but I just feel like it. I feel like it causes intimacy issues and it creates unrealistic expectations for a lot of people.
I think that's always been around. You just now it's easier than ever. That's the only difference.
Yeah, yeah.
So, oh man, what was the other thing we wanted to talk about? Oh
We
yeah,
were
I remember
talking.
now. Speaking of being awkward and weird and a bad person, if you want to go down that road, I mean, what is with people in our society? I mean, porn's one thing. That's kind of PG in one way compared to this
What?
topic.
Oh, okay. Like, okay.
And
Let,
that's what's with our obsession with serial killers.
I think you know. I really think that it's. Hear me out on this. So, what's constantly flooding in media, I guess in mainstream movies and things like that, is most of the things that like stretch the boundaries of reality. So I mean, like you're constantly bombarded with like Marvel stuff, and then even like the Harry Potter stuff, and like you had Lord of the Rings, like, just a bunch of fantasy and a bunch of things like that. But then like when it comes to like killing and serial murderers and whatnot, like that stuff's real and that stuff happens. And so like I think people are looking for like authenticity in the wrong places, if that makes sense. Like I don't know if you've noticed, but there's like a lot of crime TV shows, and there's like a lot of like solving murders, or even TV shows from the murderer's per point of view, or a murderer that's killing murderers like Dexter, like serial killer. But it's pretty popular these days.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the anti-hero is a thing now. I mean, you can look at Deadpool. Uh,
Yeah.
but they're talking. We're bringing back like old school stories and old school serial murderers like Ted Bundy. And I mean, they did a big story on Netflix, the big like
With Zac
drama.
Efron, right?
I don't remember if I think so. And then they redid the guy who killed Versace, and
Huh.
they redid the O.J. Simpson trial. Speaking of
They did?
Kardashians, yeah, yeah. They speaking of
Interesting.
Kardashians, since Mr. Kardashian was the one of the defense attorneys for O.J. Simpson, so
Huh.
that's how he became famous. And he was, you know, who played him? It was David Schwimmer, Ross from Friends,
Played who?
Kevorkian.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'll be there for
I know
you.
who I know who he is. I was just trying to imagine him in character. That's interesting.
Yeah, he was kind of like a secondary character in that series, but and Cuba Gooding Jr. played OJ. He did a pretty good
Dude,
job.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is a phenomenal actor,
Yeah.
and I will watch any movie that he's in.
Yeah, so you should watch that. But and then there's that newer movie. I was all about like throughout the summer. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god, Brad Pitt and Leo in the same movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Uh
I'm
huh.
so all about that. I love those two actors. And then I
Yeah.
found out it's really more about the Manson family murders. Like, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to. Why do I care about the serial killers from like 40 years ago? I don't care. It's so sad.
It's kind of like music, you know. It keeps it's cyclical, you know. The '80s is coming back, the '90s is coming back, and it's a big cycle. So now, you know, murderers are coming back,
I guess, but I mean, music's not that bad. I mean,
and even
like,
fashion, you know.
I
So
mean,
murderers are coming
I
back.
mean,
There you go.
Depeche Mode sucks, and people still like them. So,
It's true.
man, those dudes. Again, I'm very against people who just talk in their songs, as I went over in the last episode. Because Depeche Mode,
Dan's favorite bad Blink 182.
all I ever wanted, all I ever needed. They're talking. That's talking. They're just
Did you ever
talking.
did you ever hear about that band like back in the day, the Bravery?
I kind of
It's
remember.
like that song, people, they don't mean a thing to you. And then that song was like, don't look at me that way. It was an honest mistake.
Oh, kind of.
That's
That
like
kind
the
of rings a
singing.
bell. It kind of rings.
I he's like a talk singer too, but he does a little wiggle in his voice.
Yeah, if you talk in your songs, I ain't listening.
What about so I guess you're not a fan of rap?
See, it depends. It
Oh,
depends on.
here we go. Here we go. Let's listen to Dan dig himself a hole. Go for it, Dan.
I mean, it depends on the lyrics.
It depends on how fast they're talking. Go ahead. Come on.
No, I mean, because
How
like
syncopated
I'll
how
give you.
syncopated their rhythms are. Okay, keep
No,
going.
I'll give you a good example. That's a very different genre, and that's Johnny Cash. I mean,
He did
his
hurt
voice.
himself today.
He did, and his voice wasn't the best, but
He tried singing.
he had a really deep voice. He had really good lyrics. That was his. He was a really good songwriter.
He fell into a burning ring of fire.
He fell so deep, and he never recovered. No, he did recover, but he really was a culture, like an icon of the times. He was able to sing about songs that really no one else could do it that well at the time. So I think some rappers also are able to do that. Like they're able
Like
to grab the society, the identity, how a lot of people are feeling.
like
And
Tupac.
I don't think Tupac was as big of a deal before he died. I mean, he was a big
I
deal, but he became like an
he was a
icon.
rising star. Yeah, yeah, he was rising. He was rising. And then I think the explosion was after he died. Everyone's like, "Dang."
Yeah, and I mean, like, I think Biggie was a bigger deal before Tupac, before both of them died.
Yeah. Well, I
So,
mean, I feel like they died literally in their prime. They
oh
died in
yeah,
like the prime. moment.
Remember I think it's faded away now, but remember when everyone's like, it was like Biggie's still alive. I mean, Tupac's still alive.
That's
He,
still going around.
he lives in an island like in the Bermuda Triangle or something like that.
Well, everyone's got a conspiracy like Hitler didn't actually die, but he lived in like Brazil or something like
Yeah,
that for like.
well, there's some.
Oh, Dan's a
No,
conspiracy theorist.
I'm
Let's
not.
hear it, Dan.
I
You are digging yourself a hole today, Dan.
I'm
Go for
not
it.
a. I'm neutral on this topic because
Uh huh.
there are legit communities in Argentina. I don't know the exact location, but they're very up deep in the mountains.
Okay.
And there's a fellow named Tim Kennedy. Speaking of UFC, he was a former UFC fighter. He's a legit super badass. He
Okay.
fought in the UFC. He's in the military. I think he's a Navy SEAL or Ranger. He's one of those super elite guys in the military. And
Right.
he like gave his address to ISIS. He's like, "Come and try to kill me. Here's my address. Come and try to kill me." Like he doesn't care at all.
And he
So
saw Hitler. He saw Hitler.
so he does this show on the History Channel where he kind of like goes after, like, I think it's like Finding Hitler. I think that was the name of the show. And
So
he
you've got another celebrity who's following a hobby with their money.
well, that's kind of different because I think it's when you do something. I mean, fighting in a cage and doing stuff in bed are two very different things to me. So
But no, I meant like fighting in a cage or you know, trying to find aliens
okay, I mean, like I
or
said,
trying to be
History
president.
Channel
You know.
is all about Nazis and aliens. That's undeniable. So and the guy
Oh
from
man,
182, man, he's a dork. He looks like a dork. He looks like
hello
he has a
there.
smile on his face like 18 hours a day, and he doesn't even know why he's smiling. He's just one of those dudes that randomly smiles.
I get so many things to say, but they're so inappropriate.
So, I mean, Tim Kennedy, he was like a good UFC fighter. He never got the belt, but he's a
Okay.
legit badass. It's undeniable. So, he went to these villages, and like these villages in Argentina, they speak only German. They don't speak Spanish. They don't speak
Really
Portuguese. They have German flags everywhere. Everyone's blonde and blue eyed. Like it's very Germany in South America,
interesting.
and a lot of them are people, are part of like
The
hardcore
Third
high
Reich.
level, yeah, like very high level Nazis that are like their grandfathers were hardcore high level Nazis.
It's just
So
terrible for me. Like this is my terribleism where I mean like for German, I don't think too much about Germans, but the only word that I associate with Germans in Germany is Haagen-Dazs. So I just say Haagen-Dazs for everything. So when I say they're German, I'm like they're Haagen-Dazs.
you don't think Rammstein?
Nah.
You don't think of
Du hast mich. Yeah, no, I think Haagen-Dazs.
you don't think of Nine? I mean, I always think of Nine
I think of Haagen-Dazs, man.
because
That's because I'm
Nine.
fat. I'm fat. I like ice cream. Okay, get
I
off it.
get you. I mean, I
You
think
know,
Nine because Nine means no in German.
nine.
So I think of there's a lot of things I think of because I've actually been to Germany. So
Oh,
my
is it
go ahead.
Why don't you give us a travel tip since you've been to Germany? Give us a German travel tip.
All right. Let's see. Munich is the city I went to the most in Germany.
Okay.
Germans speak English. So, like in France, you always hear people say, like, pretend, like, try to speak French, and if you try, they'll reply back in English. You don't have to do
Right.
that in Germany. You just,
That's because they're conquered. I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
well, in Germany, like, welcome is like welcome, like it's spelled differently, but it kind of sounds the same. Like,
Welcome.
danke means thank you.
Okay.
So, danke means thanks, really, not thank you. But if you try, and plus they know they can look at you. They're like, oh, this guy's not German. Even if you look like you could be German, you there's the aura is different.
You should just
So
run around and scream strudel, strudel,
I don't know if that's German. I think that's more Swiss. So
strudel. Really?
I think so.
Oh man. Maybe
So
just say no. Haggis is Irish.
I would
Uh.
say Germany is a very expensive country. At least
Okay.
it is right now. I know I've read reports their recession is much closer to coming than ours. So uh,
Hmm.
German food is okay, but their beer is delicious.
Okay.
So here's my
So
tip: if you go to Munich, it's only in Munich. All the beer in Munich, you will never see it anywhere else outside of Munich because their city mandates that particular types of beer are only made and sold within Munich.
why is that?
They don't want it to be like popularized in different regions across Germany.
Or do
They
they
want
want people to come there? Like it's like a travel thing?
exactly. That's exactly why. So, like, if you're a beer drinker in America or wherever you live, you always have like that aftertaste when you swallow.
Right.
You just kind of accept that. In Germany, there is no aftertaste.
It
It
is the land of no aftertaste?
it is like you're drinking water. Like that
Shut
burning
up, really?
does not exist in their beer. There are
Wait, I
no
don't get a burn when
preservatives.
I drink beer.
I mean that whatever aftertaste there is, it's absolutely none. It's like drinking water.
Huh.
So it's the smoothest beer. I couldn't drink beer for a year after I left there. I came back home like this beer sucks. I can't drink American anything anymore.
All right. I have an idea, Dan.
Okay.
We need to have a beer in every major city in every major like capital city of the world. We have to try their beer and do a podcast.
So you want to have a beer in Birmingham, Alabama? Is that what you're saying? The capital of
Yeah,
Alabama?
I want to have a beer in Korea, North Korea too.
I'm not going to North Korea.
Come on, dude.
There
Where's
are
your sense
some
of
countries
adventure?
on my no-fly list, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a handful of countries that I am not going to.
Okay, how about almost every country?
Okay. There's like 212 countries. I don't know. I don't know how many there are now.
That's 212 beers.
Well, some countries don't have beer. So I would say like 190 is more accurate.
That's 190 beers.
And one other country in my no fly list, Congo. I am not going to the Congo.
Don't you want a Kongan beer?
Nah. I'd rather have my head attached to my body than have that beer.
When I hear like when I hear the word Congo, I just think of like drums, like big drums.
I think of severe civil wars and lots of death. That's what I think of when I hear the word Congo.
Well, Dan, you're just a very dark person. I
Hey,
just think of drums, you know?
that's their life there. I mean, that's how it is in lots of Africa. It's not my fault. People are killing each other. I didn't do
So
that.
so maybe it's this is the reason why the media and everyone loves serial killers all of a sudden, and they're making movies and making romanticizing it.
I don't know why it is. I think it's something that's easy to pull up information on, and they just make it fun. I don't know how you make it
Mm.
fun, but they make it fun. I mean, like you mentioned that show, The First 48. That show's been on
Yeah.
forever, and it's still really popular. I remember one of my ex girlfriends. She loved that show, and she would DVR it, and she would like binge watch it.
DVR, wow, y'all are old.
I know. That's when I. This is a girlfriend from a while ago. So and we watched like two episodes, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm done." And I
Yeah.
like get up, and she's like, "Why? Don't you want to watch another?" I was like, "I am so depressed now. I cannot watch another one of these. Like these
Well,
people just got killed over $37. Like I can't watch this anymore."
dude, there's just a lot of things that are kind of being romanticized that are dark. I think everything's gradual. Like, you know, I mean, like, I'm gonna people are gonna give me a lot of shade for this, but like 50 Shades of Grey, like that's romanticizing like BDM, BDSM, or I don't know how you say it, you know, or like things like Breaking Bad, where it's like romanticizing in a way drug use and like that drug use lifestyle. You know, I mean, I watched the show and I liked the show. Don't get me wrong, but like notice that like as you watch things, they slowly start to like gradually become darker and darker, and like one show makes way for another show, and then makes way for another show, and it kind of just starts to go kind of crazy. So now we're bringing back an old topic here, but the Joker movie. Remember we talked about the Joker a couple episodes back. Um, so the Joker movie is bringing in pretty mixed reviews. And the reason why is that it is so dark. It's so dark. People are literally walking out of the movie theaters. Did you hear about that?
I've heard a lot of people are saying it's dark, but shut
Well,
up, shut up.
well, okay, the thing is that from what I understand, I mean, first off, Joaquin Phoenix is a fantastic actor. So no matter what, I would go see the movie on principle just to see him portray the Joker. But it's so true, like it's so real. Like people can go down a dark path, and it's like I guess what it's doing is it's kind of glorifying or romanticizing mental health, like instabilities, like how people can fall from grace, or like how a normal average person who doesn't is not able to get his head above water, how he transforms into this dark twisted person, um is kind of like a reality for some people. Not to say they're gonna go mass murder people, but some people do. You know what I'm saying? But that movie is that dark where um I think people were even like giving like mass shooting threats on the movie. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, that's from the Aurora movie theater shooting. That happened during Batman. I think
That
one
the
of the
the first
Batman
one.
movies. I don't remember which one, but yeah, that's why they're saying it because of the Joker movie. That's why.
Hmm.
It has nothing to do with the movie itself. It has to do with affiliation of it being in the Batman world. Um, Regarding the movie being dark, one, Joaquin Phoenix always plays like damaged people. Like again, going back to Johnny Cash, Walk the Line from 2005 or so. Johnny Cash was a kind of damaged individual, and he did a fabulous job portraying him as, in Walk the Line. It was kind of
Right.
a dark movie,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's considered a very good movie. He always plays kind of mean, or he never plays a happy guy. So it's just like Zac Efron in every movie he does right now, he's taking his shirt off. Like it's a guarantee his shirt is off. You know what you're signing up for when you watch a Zac Efron movie. Like you're going to see his chest and nipples and abs. Guarantee.
Wait, so Joaquin Phoenix has not made one happy movie?
I don't think so. Everything I can like every
What
movie
about that movie? What about that movie where he's dating the artificial intelligence thing? Or was it I Am or something
okay,
like
that's
that?
that right there. Sad. That's sad. That's sad.
Okay, fair enough.
You know
We
what's
should
happy? Like
Google that. Has
my
Joaquin
girlfriend's a
Phoenix played
robot.
a
I'm so
happy?
happy. So
We should Google that. Has Joaquin Phoenix played a happy character?
I'm gonna look up his filmography.
IMDb.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up, and let's see what's going on with his history, because that's what I remember him from. Let's see. Let's go back to more recent stuff that people would
Hmm.
know, because he does a lot, but not everybody knows everything, and I certainly don't, because he does like a few movies.
So like something like randomly popped up. I was looking for it, and it's like, is Joaquin Phoenix dead? So I guess there's a fake hoax about him at one point in time.
I mean, I'm looking at most of the movies. I don't recognize most of these movies the last few years.
Has he even played like a little animated character in a Disney movie or something that'll kind of give him saving grace?
I don't see that. I don't see much. I mean, the last movies I see that I recognize are
Gladiator.
We Own the Night, Hotel Rwanda, The
He was in that
Village.
movie.
Hotel Rwanda was Don, the dude who plays Iron Man. Not Iron Man, the black dude. I forgot what the other character that's Iron Man's homie.
I'm losing his name.
Don
Um,
something. Starts with a
Don
C.
Cheeto.
Yeah. I mean, most of these movies I'm seeing are kind of gritty. All those movies are gritty. That's the right word.
Gritty. Okay. Okay.
Almost all of them. So that's just what he does. There's certain characters, certain actors.
Oh, the movie was called Her. Her, not I Am.
I mean, like, what is it? Like Al Pacino, either he plays like this tough, rugged New Yorker, or he's playing a crappy movie of him being a dad who you could tell
Wait, he was in a movie called Clay Pigeons.
who was.
Joaquin Phoenix, and this looks like a comedy.
What year was this?
1998.
Dude,
Cl-
that's like his fourth movie. You have to go back 20 years for that.
Who is he in this movie? Oh, he's Clay. No, he's not happy in this either. After hearing that his wife sleeps with Clay, Earl kills himself, making it look like Clay shot him, and doesn't like it when Clay sees another woman instead. Bodies start piling up.
Yeah.
Clay pigeon sounded like it was like not aggressive. Wait,
Yeah.
Superboy. He was Billy Hercules in Superboy.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it is either, but I'm going down the IMDb, and
I mean, I'm
he
not
was
saying he's a dark guy.
that was 1989. Oh, and he was Max in Space Camp in 1986.
I mean, he's an interesting character. I mean, I remember
Yeah.
now looking back on things. I remember like 10 years ago, he said he's going to quit acting and become a rapper.
Did he really?
Yeah, he grew like this big beard. I can't remember that now, but he's an interesting guy. So, like people get typecasted. Like The Rock is always playing a superhero. He's this big buff guy on all the steroids in the world. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So, if you're gonna play a dark character, the Joker's not a new thing. It's been around since like the 40s, I believe.
Yeah.
So he's one of the first Batman villains.
Yes, he is.
So we know he's a dark character. There's absolutely nothing about the Joker is new in this movie. It's actually going more old school. Am I right?
From what I've heard with his Joker, he has taken nothing from any Jokers.
Okay. Well,
Nothing.
there's a lot of darkness involved with Batman and the Joker. So what is everyone complaining about? I mean, the trailers were very dark.
Yes, they were.
So what are you doing? Why are you going to a movie complaining about how dark it is? Do you not know anything? Like, who are these people? If I met someone who said that movie was too dark for me, I think I should get a free pass and punch him in the jaw.
All right, Dan. This week we have to watch the movie and talk about it next week.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it this weekend, and I do know a lot of people were legitimately scared of going to watch it this weekend. I've heard people say that they were scared of shootings and things like that. So
that's sad.
It is very sad. And I really, and honestly, it kind of came to my mind too. Like, I was gonna go watch it Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, that's probably when a shooting would happen. If a shooting happens, it's going to be when it's the most busy.
Right.
So I was like, maybe I'll go Saturday morning instead. It's like no one's going to kill anybody at 11 a.m. in the morning. So
I guess that's the world we live in.
It is the world we live in. And so if you watch The Joker and you were like offended by it, I don't like you. I don't like you. I think you're a bad person. Because you're the type of person who goes out of their way to complain. You're like the type of person who goes to the DMV, waits in line, and complains about waiting in line. You know what you signed up for. You're going to the DMV. You're the type of person who goes to Costco on a Sunday and complains how long the line is. Shut up.
Shut up, Karen. Shut up.
You know what Costco is on the weekends. Either you like it or you don't. And if you don't like it, you find a way to go during the week.
Yeah. So we will go watch it and we will report back if we're not dead. Speaking of all the dark stuff.
I mean, okay, before we go there, what are the chances if we both get shot in watching The Joker?
Look, no one would know. Like, literally no one would post on our behalf on this. You and I are literally the only people who know how to post this.
Dude, if we want to get
no
famous,
one will post on our social media.
If we want to get super famous, we have to kill ourselves watching the movie.
Okay, and we have to say Random Rose podcast. And then blow our brains out.
We have to become martyrs like Tupac and Biggie. Like that. Yeah. Like we said, they got famous after they died. That's the only way we're gonna make this show a success. I am willing to do anything for my fans.
Okay, hold on. In the succession of things, first off, you and I need to make a sex tape, and then we need to off ourselves. So it's like
it's a perfect 1-2 combo.
Exactly. That's the 1-2 combo.
All right, followers, fans, founders, whatever we're calling you guys. If you want us to make that, let us know.
You're contributing to the corruption of society, Dan. We're literally playing it like a fiddle.
If you want two grown adults to commit crimes against themselves, let us know.
and, and crimes against your eyes.
Yeah, regardless of how you feel about that, nobody wants this. So nobody wants to see that. So
Dan, I don't know if I want to do that though, because we still have to do the Hitler sign and make people say thank you.
that's true. Maybe we could all do it at once. That would be like a perfect 1, 2, 3 combo.
Hold on, as I'm saying, like as I'm offing myself and saying Random Rust Podcast, I say thank you as my hand goes up in the Hitler sign, and then boom.
Or we do that, and then people are like, "Hey, you're not white," and then you're like, "Oh my god, I didn't know that till now.
What?
I have to go
Just
do
say,
what's right now."
just take the gun and shoot me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. So now that we're all dark
Yeah,
and
that we went
twisted,
dark. That was super dark.
jeez, that was super. Like we didn't mean to go that dark. It was just it's the Joker slash serial killer topic that just kind of took us to that place, guys. So forgive us for getting that dark in your early Thursday morning, before work or as you're coming home.
All right, now,
Just
if you're
stay
driving
safe.
home in
Stay
traffic,
safe.
this is the perfect mode.
Stay safe out there, y'all.
Don't do road rage. Just don't do
Yes.
that.
But if you do, make sure to yell. I'll make sure to yell Random Rose Podcast before you do any heinous crimes.
Yeah, say we told you to do it. So when the
Don't say
officer
that.
tells you,
Don't
so when the
say
officer
that.
tells you, why did you run them off the road? It's like Dan and Philip told me to.
Dan did. Phil was pleading the fifth here.
One of the guys in my head said yes, and one of the guys said no.
Like, listen, I can play it back here on my phone. Oh yeah, Dan just incriminated himself, guys. So you guys get a hall pass. Blame it on Dan. He incited you.
Yeah, if I am your voice of why you did something so heinous, sure, blame me. Okay, I will be your scapegoat. It won't work,
Okay,
but you could try.
we need to transition from this topic, Dan, because it's just
You want to talk about Care Bears? You want to talk about Teletubbies? You want to talk about Dora the Explorer? What do you want?
we need to talk about something so beautiful and full of life and light that it just counterbalances this dark stain on our podcast.
All right, what is it? What you got an idea in mind?
I got no idea in mind, but I'm gonna have a different topic. We're gonna talk about annoyances slash. Okay, I don't get this, Dan. I don't get this, and here's what it is: the pumpkin spice thing. Okay, like literally. I mean, I know pumpkin spice is a flavor you can add to your coffee for the Starbucks people, but it became this white girl wearing boots and flannels and drinking pumpkin spice thing, and I just don't get it. I mean, I don't think it's that good anyway.
Well, it's for girls. I mean, if you're a dude ordering pumpkin spice, give me your man card. Give it to me.
Dan, that is being insensitive.
There are
What if
certain
people?
things that girls like that boys don't, and vice versa. Pumpkin spice, you're not allowed to order that as a man.
Well, what if you're a man who identifies as a woman?
That's fine. That's fine. But if you don't have a man card at that point. If you gotta turn in your man card if you're like, I
All
want
right,
it.
Dan, let's clarify then. What is the qualifications of a man card?
You can't order pumpkin spice lattes or whatever.
Why not?
It's not feasible. You have to
Why
be
not?
able to. If someone's like, okay, you're drinking a girly drink. If someone asks you, "Hey, what are you drinking?" and you hesitate, like if you hesitate, like answering that, then you shouldn't be
I
drinking.
know some people that could straight face, non hesitation, order some girly stuff and not even feel weird about it.
I mean, alcohol is one thing, but I mean like a regular drink. You got to turn in your man card. It's just
Okay.
what it is.
It'd be like ordering a steak and then ordering a fruit punch.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I like a steak and a fruit punch.
What would you like to drink, sir? Hawaiian punch, please.
Hawaiian punch is a delicious drink.
Sir,
I love
punch?
Hawaiian punch. All right, we gotta do that. We gotta order the girliest drink and the manliest food item.
Dude, imagine if you go to your friend's house, they have no kids, and they have like a 2 liter of Hawaiian punch. You are judging them.
It's like, hey, sir, what would you like to drink? A Shirley Temple.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think I give more of a pass on the alcoholic stuff because I think a lot of people don't really like the way alcohol tastes, but they find a way to like it by masking it a lot.
Isn't that what people do with coffee?
I like coffee black.
I do like coffee black as well. I'm a snob with coffee where I actually do cold brews with my coffee, and so I brew them a special way that I get all the oils and stuff from the coffee, and you can actually taste fruity notes in the coffee.
You like spend like 12 hours to drink your coffee?
I like my coffee at Breaking Bad level.
Yeah, no. I just use a French press. I'm done. I know which grounds I like from the store. That's all I do. I'm not gonna invest my
I grind my own beans.
no way. Not
Yeah,
happening.
I grind my own beans, get my specific grind, and then I do my cold brew.
You do that every morning?
No. I brew like a pitcher, and then I drink the pitcher for like 3 or 4 days, and I repeat the process.
So you're like making iced tea pretty much with your coffee.
Yeah, it takes 24 hours to brew.
Nah, no way. Not happening.
You just put it in the fridge. You create the pitcher, put it in the fridge, and so do it in the morning, and then the next day it's good to go, and you have coffee for like 4 days.
Nope, not doing it. So
Oh my gosh.
I don't really like the cold brew. I don't really taste a difference anyways. So
There's a huge difference, but you need to actually taste coffee with intention.
I drink my coffee. I like what I like. I like the dark roast stuff. And
Dan, when I come over and visit you, I'm going to change your life.
I'm not going to allow you to do that. It takes
I will
24 hours. I'm not allowing
swap
that.
it. I will brew it. I'll be brewing as I'm coming to see you.
How disgusting does your pitcher look after a few weeks?
I wash it when it's done. Basically, like the grounds sit in this little cylinder that's in the pitcher, and then you just pull the cylinder out, and everything's good to go. And you just wash it.
So you have to buy like a special pitcher?
It all came together. Yeah, I bought a pitcher for it.
How much was
It's a
that?
brewer. $20.
For plastic.
Yeah.
I mean, you could buy a pitcher at the 99-cent store for 99 cents.
But then how would you hold the grounds?
Yeah, see, you're spending $19 more than necessary for the cold brew.
I have got my money's worth out of that. Dan, thank you very much.
I mean, my French press is $12. It's cheaper than the machine. It gets the job done.
I drink Kenyan coffee, the Kenyan AA coffee.
Yeah, boy.
It's got fruity notes in it, and I love that. It tastes great.
So you keep talking about liking fruity stuff a lot. That's alarming.
Are you gonna pull my man card for liking fruity coffee?
That's one of the
come on.
That if you're eating ice cream, you could say you like fruity ice cream, fine. But fruity coffee, that doesn't make
no. My ice cream, I like mayonnaise flavored ice cream.
Yeah, that if you're English, I can accept that, but you're not. So
wait, the English do that? That was a stretch.
So the English like mayonnaise on everything. English in Australia, they use mayonnaise. Get ready to throw up. I've seen it in person in real life, and it made me throw up. They use it as salad dressing.
Oh no, I use mayonnaise as salad dressing. That's delicious.
What?
If you mix mayonnaise and ketchup and like another thing, it's like Thousand Island.
Yeah, I get that. I mean straight up mayonnaise only.
That's a stretch.
I've seen a tub of mayonnaise get pulled out and with like a bunch of lettuce, and they just spoon the mayonnaise into the bowl of lettuce.
I don't think I could do that. I think I could do like a broccoli salad like that, but it's got to have other stuff in it.
No, that sounds disgusting. Mayonnaise is not salad dressing. So
so some people in Italy will dip French fries into mayonnaise as a dressing, like to go on like French fries.
Yeah, that's like an East Coast thing. I don't know if it's Italy, but I know that's an East Coast thing. I don't think mayonnaise is an Italian thing.
Mayonnaise.
No, it's a very English thing. So like tartar sauce is mayonnaise base. So and then they love tartar sauce. The word tartar is so weird. Like why is the second tar pronounced differently than the first tar?
That's what it is. You need to order. You need to order a fruit punch. Order a steak with some tartar sauce.
Yeah.
That is the meal. That is the meal.
Can I get a Hawaiian punch on the ice, please?
With a side of tartar sauce.
Yeah.
What do you mean for my steak?
Where would you even order that? Red Lobster? Like, where would you even try to even have that ensemble? It has to be Red Lobster because they do steak and shrimp and seafood and stuff.
Yeah, they gotta have tartar sauce
Like, you
or
can't go
anywhere that
like
has
the
fish sticks.
Outback. You can't be like, yeah, can I have tartar sauce? Like, we don't sell fish.
If they've got breaded and battered fish, they've got tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce. I say it like Jar Jar Binks. Tartar sauce. So
Tartar.
I have tartar sauce right in my house. I like how that.
When I think of tartar sauce, I think of like the Weatherman with Nicolas Cage where he goes tartar sauce, tartar sauce, tartar sauce. He like freaks out.
I don't remember that. I remember that movie, but I don't remember that. So
Oh, you should watch it. Go watch the Weatherman,
I mean,
guys.
he's another actor that's very, he's always kind of quirky in every movie.
Nicolas Cage has a different hairline in every movie. If you don't believe me, go look at all the movie titles or just screenshots of the movies. That dude's hairline is different in every single movie. Sometimes it's more forward, sometimes it's more back, sometimes it just looks normal, and then sometimes it's parted weird. Dude has a different hairline every time.
The obvious answer is it's fake hair. He's
It's
bald.
different hairline.
He's bald. It's a very nice toupee. It's what it is.
Whatever happened to oh, now I'm losing the name of the series where it's all about like finding American relics and stuff
Like an American National Treasure.
National Treasure. Whatever happened to National Treasure?
Dude.
Wasn't it going to be like
No.
Fast and the Furious 27?
They could only like make up. They can use like one true fact and make 97 false facts surrounding that one true fact so many times. Then they go like to real places. I remember they went to the Louvre in France, and they'd be like, "Yeah, that's over here," and you're like, "I've been there. That's not there. The map is not like that. There, like you can't go from there to there. Like that doesn't happen there." So, I don't like when movies do that. I don't like when they use like real places and make it up.
Most people don't travel. Most people don't travel that much.
That's even worse because then like people are like, oh yeah, I remember in that National Treasure movie, that's what they said, and you're like, that's not true. That's a movie. Movie time. Let's see what.
Well, Dan, we keep talking about movies, and we keep talking about
death.
The Joker, and death, and all these dark stuff. This is a dark podcast.
It's the darkest podcast.
You made that in the final countdown, right? Okay.
Yeah, I know you like that song a lot.
It's freaking a great song.
It's all right.
All right, guys. I think we've rambled enough.
Yeah, I think if you were sad before listening to this podcast, I'm sorry. You're probably sadder now.
You're probably just sitting there thinking, why am I listening to this podcast? These guys are supposed to make me laugh, but they just they just talked about really dark stuff and oh, that really got you, Dan.
I really want to laugh in this next hour. Oh wow, I am crying a lot.
This is listed under the comedy section of the podcast. Hey, there was nothing funny about this podcast.
You want to listen to something that's going to make you sad? No.
We just have like 5 minutes of people straight crying.
So on this episode, we want you to put negative stars if possible. That way we know you really liked it.
Yeah, negative stars, and just say that this was the funniest podcast yet.
Who knows? Maybe maybe you want us to be kind of dark.
No, it wasn't fun.
We want you to like this one. This is the true us.
We just encourage people to kill themselves, dude.
Well, we encourage killing ourselves too, so we're not being hypocrites.
And then I encourage people to make a porno video.
No, yeah, you encourage us to do one, which is even worse.
That's right. Yeah. So this pretty much is we've just sunk to a new low, Dan.
We need you guys to give us topics.
So with that being said, just a word from our sponsor, Dan, to lift up the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Denny's If you're sad, you go to Denny's. It will give you like if you're at a 6 on a happy scale, you'll leave an 8. If you're at a 3,
Uh
you'll get to a 6. Like
okay.
you're not going to get to a 9 and 10. Shut up. You're not going to Denny's, and you're not going to leave there like you're on cloud 9. It ain't happening.
Okay.
But you can get to a solid B. You can get up there.
Are there hours to avoid Denny's?
I would not go on a Sunday morning.
Okay.
It gets pretty
Would you get
busy.
questionable service?
No, I wouldn't say that. It gets pretty busy. Like after church time, it gets pretty busy there. Because
Okay.
good, wholesome people like Denny's, and they go to Denny's after service. So that's the only time I can think of.
There you have it, guys. So if you don't like Christians, don't go to Denny's because Denny's supports Christians.
Okay, okay. They support all religions. I don't want to.
Dan's trying to be inclusive.
I want all the religions and all the faiths and all the countries to be jealous that they don't have Denny's.
That's true.
So
That
if
is
you
true.
are not an American, the first thing you need to do is come here, and the first thing
Go
you
to
need to
Denny's.
do is go to Denny's, because I guarantee there's a Denny's close to every airport in this country.
And order a lumberjack slam.
If it's your first order, you got to get a Grand Slam.
A grand slam.
You got to get the Grand Slam. I don't care if you land at 8 o'clock at night and it's a breakfast, plate. I don't care.
And if you really want to be saucy, you look at your waiter straight in the face and order a moon over your hammy and wiggle your eyebrows.
And if you say, give me a side of mayonnaise, that waiter or waitress is allowed to backhand you, because that's not what we do in this country. Go back to your country and do that funky stuff there.
All right, guys. So, hey, appreciate you guys. This is another episode. Again, if you have not liked us on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, make sure to follow us there, like us there. And if you guys are listening on YouTube, make sure to like this video and subscribe if this is your first time. If not, share it on your social media and leave a comment. And likewise, if you're listening on the podcast, 5 stars, please, please, please. And also leave us a little comment of your thoughts. We love interacting with you guys. And a few of you guys are starting to interact with us, and that's a lot of fun. And it kind of just makes it so that it's not just Dan and I doing this, but there's a little bit of a community with you founders out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's very important. Sharing is caring, because we're getting to the point where we're going to have to do a sex tape to keep ourselves entertained, and nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that, guys. So just stop a terrible thing from happening by just integrating with
Yeah,
us
do
a
your
little
civic
more, you know?
duty and interact with us so we don't have to go ballistic on ourselves.
Exactly. Save a life and your eyesight. So anyway, guys, this is episode 9. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And we'll catch you later.
Bye. 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 Bye.